Here we go. So I see you. I don't know, like, if there's a way for me to see everyone. Do you know? On mobile?
I know.
Or is it just whoever's talking?
Is there a...
If you slide over, there's 3 little dots at the bottom. If you slide over, you see everybody.
Oh, look at that.
I just figured it out a second ago.
Great. Thanks, ladies, for jumping on. I'm so excited to see your beautiful faces.
Yay. Guys,
how's everyone's day going? Good?
Actually, so I had a crazy day with my 3 wellness appointments, but I'm kind of excited because I just posted my results of my, my thing on Instagram, and I gave a shout out to the woman who made the program, this woman, Natalie Hodson, and she is just asked if she could reshare my post. So I'm hoping I'll get some followers from that. That would be good.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'm trying to
Is she a coach? Is she the one? Did I share her with you? I can't remember. I know I shared someone with you.
No, she's not a coach or anything. She does her own. She did the Dollar Workout Club or something. She's like an owner of, she's like just in the fitness industry. And she had a few kiddos and she ended up with diastasis recti. And so her friend, who's an OB, helped to create this program with her. Because she was like a fitness model and all this stuff, and it just like wrecked her that she couldn't get back to where she was before. So anyway, she has like a pretty big following. So I've been trying to figure out how to like merge everything, because now I have all these people interested in this program, and I'm like, well, it's not a Beachbody program. So I'm like getting really good at selling Natalie's program.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe like I was Karen and I had a one-on-one yesterday, but like still think about how you can incorporate it into Beachbody. Like, I mean, the shakes of like, you can still talk about the shakes. I mean, I don't know how they could like help with that, but like,
well,
I don't know.
Nutrition is important too. I think the point is you don't have to really work out intensely to get results. That's the thing that people don't realize, is that it really, I know we say like 80% nutrition, blah, blah, but it's actually legitimately true. So what I'm thinking of doing is just doing a free group for all the people who are interested in at least getting the information of what I've been doing. And then I'm hoping that'll just build some relationships with them.
Yeah. And I think hint on that point, like how important nutrition was with your journey. Like you weren't just doing like what this program was, like you were eating clean. And, I mean, I know Karen and I can both speak to that after doing the Ultimate Reset. Like I realized more, like I couldn't believe how like important nutrition was. Like you don't, you barely work out and like you get these crazy results, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
That's so exciting. I even saw a few people like posting on your post and how like excited they were. And
yeah, I know. Like it's the thing that people really don't talk about. And it's really, really hard. Like it's a hard thing to deal with, because you're just told over and over again that the only way it's going to be fixed is through surgery. And so there are a ton of like fitness oriented people out there in this private group with the program I'm doing. And literally 90% of them, like you think you get into one of these groups and you'll just be people who maybe are out of shape or like they don't know anything about fitness. No, the majority of these women are fitness instructors, are personal trainers, are people that this is their livelihood, but they don't feel like themselves because they're training hard and they're not getting any results. Their stomach is still not flat. And it is the most frustrating freaking thing ever. So I'm trying to connect with some people in there, which is good. But anyway.
Well, there's someone I can like send your way, because this woman I work with who's married to a woman, and she just had the baby, and she's dealing with this, and like Linda was just yesterday was talking to me about it, and she's like, I don't know what to do, and I was like, oh, I have a friend that like she could talk to.
Tell her to do this program. Like I'm not even kidding, and then she can come into my group and whatever. But tell her about it, because it's amazing.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm so excited for you. That's so exciting. All right. So tonight I want to talk about how to overcome objections. And honestly, I've been a coach for 3 years. Some coaches are brand new. You guys have been a coach. I don't know. How long have you both been a coach?
Over 2 years.
Couple years. Karen's a little bit under. But regardless, I feel like this topic's always super important, because I feel like we can easily kind of forget how to have conversations with people, or maybe like there's certain objections that you're less comfortable with than others. So, you know, when I was thinking about topics for this week's call, I just felt like this is something that I'm really trying to like reteach myself on, and like how to have conversations and how to address objections. So thought it'd be an important topic to bring up for everyone to kind of learn and listen. So first things first, and it's just the three of us, but I wanted to address the term sales, because I feel like when people hear sales, they get all like, I don't want to do sales. I feel like we all get those excuses of like, I'm not a salesperson. And I'm like, yeah, neither am I. But so I wanted to do an exercise and have people like people think like, who hates thinking of themselves as a salesperson? And I was going to have everyone raise their hand. So I hate thinking of myself as a salesperson. So the question I was going to now open up to everyone was like, why? Why do you guys hate thinking of yourself as a salesperson?
I would say for me that when I think of salesperson, I think of my first job when I was selling events on the Spirit of Boston, and I had to cold call people. And like right away, I knew they just didn't want to talk to me, that I was just trying to sell them something. And just trying to sell them, like, it's just icky. It's like, oh, this person's just reaching out to me because they want to sell me something. And that just doesn't feel good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I would totally agree. I was in sales for almost 7 years. And after, cold calling and after just knocking on people's doors over and over and constantly getting the no's, it's that same feeling of, just like you're bothering somebody almost, and you don't want to have that feeling.
Yeah. So like what I heard there was like rejection. Like rejection makes you feel icky. Like when people have a bad reaction to it, it feels icky. And so for me, I never was a salesperson before Beachbody, but my entire life, people told me I should be in sales because of my personality and like I can talk to anyone, I'm outgoing. And my response every time, because like my mom works for an insurance company, they were like, you have to come sell insurance. And I was like, I know I should be passionate about insurance because like people need it, but I'm not, and I don't want to do it. And for me, it was like very like I was scared. I didn't want to do it. It felt like icky. I'm like, no, like because like you do make good money if you do well, and it didn't like resonate with me, and it didn't make sense. But when I came across Beachbody, I no longer ever felt like it was sales because I love the product so much. So I know none of us want to think of ourselves as salespeople. And we are taught from day one with Beachbody to share and not sell. But at the end of the day, I've started to like come to terms with it again and think that we all need to accept that we are selling ourselves. We're selling ourselves as coaches. We're selling the Beachbody business model, and we're selling products to others. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to shy away from that anymore as a team, because I think there's a lot of things that really align with it and are important as far as like objections. Like the first step is accepting that we're salespeople, and then we can actually be like really good about the objections and talking to people. But the whole like point and like why I just asked you this question is like, I finally realized when you love what you're selling and you're passionate about it and you connect to it, that like selling doesn't need to be icky and it doesn't need to make you feel bad. We are in the business of something I like to call share selling. I just made this up, by the way. I know it's corny, but honestly, like, what is share selling? So share selling for me is selling a service or product or both by sharing your own personal story, your experiences, your goals, your dreams, your passions, your challenges, your failures and successes. So everything we do as coaches is share selling. So yes, we are selling something, but we are selling something that can positively change someone's life. And we have a close like interaction with that, and we know what's possible with these products and with this coaching opportunity. And to our potential buyers, we should always be coming across as sharing, even though we're selling. So I just want everyone to get comfortable with the fact that like, yes, we're sharing every day in order to inspire other people, in order to get them on board. But like at the end of the day, we still have to think of it as a selling in order to help us to have conversations with people and get them to making that sale. So hopefully that's not too confusing and that makes sense to everyone. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now that toughest part is over with coaching and we've accepted as coaches that we do sell something, we sell ourselves and products, let's talk about the toughest aspects of any sales position, which is overcoming a buyer's objections. So whether you are offering a service or you're a small business, today's buyers are more discerning than ever. We are selling both. So we are not just selling a service. We are a small business and we're selling products to people. So we need to be even more convincing in our responses to the roadblocks that are standing between us and the sale. So as many experienced salespeople know, almost all direct sales calls and messages are met with at least one objection. It's very rare that any of us would get on a call with someone or have them message us and be like, yay, I'm ready to go. I have no objections about this. I'm 100% on board. Like, yes, I'm sure it happens, but actually I was probably that person, but very rare.
I was
I'm nuts. So yeah, we're both nuts. So, you know, but tonight we are going to talk about the most common sales objectives. So budget, authority, need, time, and value. So along with the steps and how to best overcome each of these. Are you guys ready? Yay! All right. So how to overcome these 5 objections in sales. So first, budget. So demonstrating the unique value of a product. Authority, identifying the customer's concerns and addressing that specific issue. Need, so taking the extra time to describe the overarching problem or opportunity for someone. Time, demonstrating why it's best to make the purchase now. And then value, so introducing specific perks, guarantees, or return policies. So number 1, my favorite excuse of all time, budget. I just don't have the money. So regardless of who we are targeting, pricing is one of the most prevalent objections to a sale. I'm sure we all feel that every day. Like when we're talking to people, it's always like, I don't have the money, I can't spend money on it. Knowing that we are aware of what people spend money on a daily basis, and when you chalk it up, $160 one time, and then $3, $4 a day going forward is not a lot of money. But people convince themselves that it is. So for many sales professionals, the knee-jerk reaction when someone says I don't have enough money is to immediately offer a lower price or a deal or a gift. And like, I am so like guilty of this. Like I totally, so many times in the beginning of Beachbody, like cheapen the product by doing this. And instead of offering up this fast discount, which is risking raising questions and value about the product, we need to start looking for more creative ways to show the unique value of what we're offering. So like, why is Shakeology worth the amount of money? How does it differ from, you know, other products out there? What's the opportunity with Beachbody On Demand now that like it's great price? They have all of these different programs that like we offer you for like such a low amount of money. They can do it in their living room. You guys get the deal. You know the drill. But like not accepting that budget's an option and, you know, like informing them of what they're getting for the value for their money. So overcome the price excuse by demonstrating the unique value of the product. Give specific examples of how that product would solve a problem for the customer. So like, you know, try to like dig in and understand like, why is price an issue? Like, what are they, like, what do they need? Like, what are their goals and how can this help them within their price range? And I know some of you might be thinking like it's hard to even get that information out of people, because I've been feeling that at times. It's like I try to dig in order to have them connect with it, and it's hard. So, you know, just be warm about like how you present the conversation and the questions you're asking them, and like really make it about them and make them feel like you really care, and hopefully they'll give you that information for you to dig further and show them the value it can have for them personally. So number 2, authority. I need to consult with my ex. And when I first like wrote this, I'm like, not the ex, like not your ex, like your partner. I meant like anyone, your partner, your husband, your wife. Like, you know, I love this thing too. It's like, and I get it to some extent. I need to check if you guys have shared bills or whatever. But like, part of me just gets annoyed because I'm like, make your decision. But having a customer state that they need to consult like their partner or wife before making a decision is an authoritative. Has already like rejected the product or service and can be very dismissal because it's just an easy out for them to put it on their spouse or put it on the partner. Like this can be an excuse. They might not even talk to the partner. They might just be saying that because they know, like, what are you going to come back with? Like, how are you going to be like, actually, your husband's wrong. Nancy didn't say that. So that just like doesn't work well. So always respect their position and talk to them about it. Look at this objection as an opportunity to get the decision makers in the room. You know, maybe say, and I've done this, like, I'd love to hop on the phone with you and your husband and to talk about, like, what are his concerns, and so I can answer his questions. If your husband's into the business, say it's a wife you're talking to, and your husband's in the business, and they can talk man to man, even better. Like, if they can give their personal view on the products and everything. Men are very skeptical in this business, so it's always good to try to get them on the phone and try to convince them yourself instead of having the other person do it who probably isn't familiar with the products yet. They really don't understand. So that's one thing, one way of going about it. But overall, identifying the concern and addressing the specific issue. So really understanding, like, you know, what's your concern with getting like their feedback? Is it a money issue? Like, you know, do you think they would not support you in this? Again, not easy questions to have with people, but ones that really kind of dig deep and help you to connect with their story and to, you know, provide answers that they can really relate to and speak to, which would hopefully drive them further to the sale. Rather than agreeing to wait for a phone call, you know, try setting up a meeting with them, with both parties again, and then like get the decision maker together. Number 3, need. So I'm happy with my current setup. So that we get this excuse a lot, this objection. So complacency or an actual fear of change can lead many potential buyers to dismiss a product before they even learned what it can do for them in their life. So I don't know how often like this happens with you guys. It's probably not my most common objective, but I think it also is one of the strongest for people to like get people to see the other side, because these are the people that are super stubborn usually, and like it's hard for them to even wrap their head around doing something new. So remember that complacency is often a result of being ill-informed about a product or opportunity. So potential customer seems complacent. You know, you really, again, need to like dig deep into like spending extra time to figure out the reasons for it. Did they already use the products and have a bad like experience? Did they, you know, do they not feel like they'll get the support they want? You know, really, again, trying to figure out like what are the reasons that they feel this way, so you can address them head on and talk to them about it. Again, if you can bring up examples, or even better, like testimonials of people that you think they could relate to, that maybe had some recent positive changes, similar to ones that you are suggesting. So say the person, you know, they have a lot of weight to lose and they say, I've tried everything, nothing works, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to invest in another thing, I have all these programs at home and I don't even do those, like I've got that a lot of the time. And I say, yeah, but you haven't done it with me, you've only done it alone, like I'll give you the support and accountability, and I have this person who, you know, has like very similar goals to you and, you know, just lost 20 pounds and, you know, I can even connect you with them, and things like that, that really like makes them feel like you understand their situation and what they're trying to accomplish, and it just proves that the products work as well. Mm-hmm. So fear of change is a huge natural reaction. So like you need to calm the customer's concerns again by showing examples of positive change that the buyer can relate to in order to boost their confidence and get them to see the light and, you know, want to give it a shot. Number 4, time. So we're too busy right now, or I don't have the time to work out or, you know, spend on this, spend on coaching even. You guys both know time, really? Who has time? Like, no one has time. Like, you make the time, right? Like, you make the time for things that are important to you and that you value. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I don't turn the TV on. Like, I never watch TV because it's just like, for me, it's like, it's not a big deal. Like, it's not something I really care about. So it's like having conversations with people, like we've all heard this excuse or something very similar. Contact me in a few months when I'll have more of a budget. And then a few months go by and you're like, hey, and then they're like, oh, my car just broke down, or like my dog's hurt, or my kid's sick, or like who knows, like whatever it may be. I lost my job. I have this girl, she keeps losing her job. I'm like, shit, you got bigger problems than I even like knew about. So, you know, but there's sometimes like you just gotta be supportive. But this objection usually happens around the holiday season, like we know. In this scenario, you know, you must make it so compelling for them to buy, you know, at that time, why it's right for them. You know, they should regret like passing up the opportunity at that time. Simplifying the buying process in some way and laying out attractive terms that, you know, it's only available at this specific time for this window of time. Make it clear that waiting until the first of the year, you'll be missing out on a great opportunity. Maybe, you know, maybe they should do Beachbody on Demand right now because Sean Week is coming up and this is the biggest like event of Beachbody. And, you know, some people that will speak to, some people won't care, but like, again, trying to connect with their goals and figuring out who they are and what makes them tick and what would get them excited, and trying to attach something to that so to make them really like want to do it now. Getting them on the phone is really great because I think, honestly, for me, I think the time excuse is probably the most bullshit one that you can surpass and you can get people to buy, because like money is a big deal. Like if people really don't have the money, like they're not going to sign up. But time, it's like, again, everyone has time. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. And it's about making this a priority and wanting it bad enough. So like, I think when you get the time excuse, I really think it's the easiest one to be hard on them and not take no for an answer, and to put pressure on them and say, you can do this. Like, anyone can do 30 minutes a day. Like, let's be honest, the shake takes 1 minute. So 31 minutes of your day. Like, you can do this. Like, let's talk about like other things that you can move around in your life, wake up a little bit earlier to make this work. So demonstrate why it's best for the consumer to make the purchase now instead of waiting, several months. Simplifying the process, making it something that they can relate to, and why now is a good time. What else did I say? If there are excuses like strictly related to money, that gives you like the information you need, again, to like speak to the product or speak to coaching and tell them, like, have them relate to, like, this is going to make your life actually easier. It's going to make your life like 100% healthier and easier because it's a quick workout, it's a quick shake. It's like, the best thing that's going. So, I think that's an excuse that like definitely like push back on, and like really like still get to listen to them, but don't take no for an answer. And number 5, value. So I need to think about it. This objection is a combination of budget, authority, need, and time. So it's a tricky one, but I also think it's one with our products that we can overcome easily because our products give so much value. I'm not even talking just, the Beachbody workouts and Shakeology, but the coaching opportunity as well. They can just bring so much value to someone's life. So if the customer doesn't see that value though in the beginning, honestly, it really shows a lack of trust. Like, I've done a lot of research on value between Beachbody and my day job, and it is a lack of trust in not only the products, but like who they're speaking to. And this can be a very common thing with cold leads because they don't know you. So, right, like that's why leads are much easier when you have a warm relationship with them, because they immediately trust you. They trust what's coming out of your mouth. They trust your transformation. They trust what you're offering is not just selling them, and it's not some bullshit product. So you really have to try to build that credibility with the buyer. So, create a more trustworthy relationship with them. Come from a place of honesty and put yourself in the buyer's shoes. So, think if I was the customer, like, what would it be holding me back? Like, what would I need them to say in order to get me really excited about it and me want to commit to it? Like, what would draw me in? And again, this gets even easier when you build your brand and you're talking to people that are similar to you, because what makes you tick, so you can like really deliver on, like, if I was still in their shoes and I wasn't doing this yet, like, how could I draw them in? So that's another thing. Like, I know we've talked about building your brand a lot, but like thinking about it in your eyes and like how you're attracting your customers. Introduce the benefits. Like, we all know how amazing these products and coaching opportunity are. Like, I know I'm not going to list all of the amazing ways right now, but we all know the benefits it can give you. It can give to your health and give to your life. So, talk about the specific special features of the products and the coaching opportunity. Address their needs in the ways that you know about them. So, what are they struggling with? How can these help with them? And sometimes it's not even bad to highlight the guarantee and the return policy. I mean, a lot of coaches will say, don't mention the 30-day guarantee because it somewhat cheapens the product. But I don't think it's that bad, honestly. I think there's not that many people that would take too much advantage of that and be like, great, I can purchase it and I'm gonna return it in 30 days after I use it all. Like, I think people that like really want results don't go into it with that mindset. So I think it's something good they can know. Like, I think it goes along with knowing that they can cancel easy. It's like, you're not stuck with this. Like, this is not like a long-term thing if you don't want it to be. So people usually feel pretty good about that and confident that they have a brand that respects, where they stand if they want to, for some reason don't like it. Basically demonstrating the value. So these types of like reassuring the buyer that he or she is making the right decision, and like, again, like making sure that they trust in you as their coach and delivering on that trust too. So like, one of the biggest things coaches can do that really hurts their business is because like, yeah, okay, we're back in sales. I'm going to say the word again. We're in a referral business. So like, if you try to like earn someone's trust and then you don't deliver on it and you hurt that relationship, like it hurts the trust for maybe like a lot of other people that they could be referring you to. So don't think of it as that one person either. And that's something I really wanted to hit on too. Like, when it comes to like sales and building your network and talking to people, like maybe that person didn't buy, but maybe they know a ton, like a lot of other people that would. So like just building that relationship, building that trust with them, getting to know like them to know you and understand the products, like could really maybe be huge and beneficial long-term in your business. So think about that. Don't think of it as just like a one solution. Think of it as a total like big solution that can really grow your business. And lastly, be proactive when dealing with sales objections. So, you know, as a sales professional, it's absolutely necessary to understand and be prepared for these conversations and any sales objection that can come your way. So these are some major ones, but, you know, I challenge you guys to think about some other ones that maybe you guys have received, and like, how would you go about it? Like even just hearing how I'm addressing these objections. And I think a lot of what I'm saying trickles down to really listening to people, making them a priority, because it's really hard to get someone to relate to something if you don't know them. Like if you don't know anything about them and you're just like, hey, like here's this program, they're like, great, like I don't know how this is going to help me, and you haven't been able to tell me because you don't know me. So it's like that warm coaching environment and building that relationship that I think is the missing piece maybe for some people that I really challenge you guys to think about. And yes, it takes a little bit more time of you and a little bit more love and care, but again, we're in the business of helping people, so hopefully you guys want to take it to that level and want to do that. Other important things, so knowing every detail of the product and service that we're offering. So do you understand every product? You know, are you familiar with them? Like if you haven't done them all, that's great, but at least like go in your Beachbody account and, you know, check them out and become familiar with like what's great for a beginner, what's great for like intermediate, what's great for someone who, like, you know, wants cardio or just wants weight loss. You know, be familiar with the coaching opportunity. Like this, you know, you don't need to know everything, but like the simple questions people are going to ask you when they're asking like, well, what is coaching, and like, how much is it, and like, how do I go about it? Those type of things. You're going to build more of that trust and confidence in people if you have the confidence in what you're speaking to. And don't feel bad if you're a new coach, like if new coaches listening to this, like don't get overwhelmed by this and think, oh my God, I have so much to learn. If you're chatting with someone over a message, like just say, if you don't know, like, hey, I'll get back to you, or don't respond right away, reach out to your coach, reach out to the team page and, you know, ask a question. And so don't tell the person you don't know, just like get back to them with the right answer, like be resourceful and get the answer for them. And if you want to have a call with them, I know I'm willing to have a call with anyone. Like I'm happy to be on the call with you and the potential person. I'm sure your, you know, direct coach or anyone in the upline would be willing to do that as well. So don't feel like you're in this alone, and you have people that support you in those conversations. Don't just shy away from it because you're nervous and don't have the answer. But I also challenge you to be resourceful and learn the stuff, you know, as you go. So ask open-ended questions too, like probe deeper into like the true core of their objection. Again, get to know them, like really like, and again, be thoughtful and caring about it. But yeah, like get to know them, get to know like what are their wants and needs, what are their fears, and why do they have these objections. If you're able to do that, if you're able to really learn about them and learn like what makes them tick and learn about their wants and needs, it just arms you with that opportunity to really tackle any objection they give you. So like whether it's budget or need or value or time, if you know enough about them, it really gives you that opportunity to speak to it. And, you know, if you know them well enough and you throw something at them and they can relate to it, like, I mean, what are they going to say? They really can't say much besides like, yeah, you're right. Like I should give this a chance. Like, sounds like it could be really positive for my life based on everything that I'm going through and the weight that I'm struggling with. And, so, you know, make it feel personal for them and that they can connect to it. And above all, remember that your goal is to convince the potential buyer that they can't or shouldn't live without this product or service. Like at the end of the day, like, again, we're changing lives. Like we're selling products that like literally can change someone's life for the better for a lifetime, save their life, you know, if they have diabetes or whatever it may be, if they're obese. So don't take that lightly, guys, and like really think about like how you can, you know, broaden your horizon and grow your network in order to help more people. The art of sales is inherently associated with objections. But most can be overcome by building a sense of credibility, trust, and reframing the way your buyer sees what you're selling. So when it comes down to it, sales is about showing the product or service at the angle that's best suited for the customer. So in the end, the secret really is making every conversation about them and talking about ways that it will make their life better and easier. It really is that simple. And And that's what I have for you guys today. So thanks for calling in. Does anyone want to mention anything or maybe talk about an experience with an objection that you've overcome, or maybe like objections that you've been dealing with lately that other people can relate to, and if this has helped you or not?
No, I like how you laid out all of those different like categories of objections, because even just seeing them written out, it's like we definitely all get these objections, but we can also use them to, you know, I always recommend to people, like when you get an objection, post publicly about that objection. Not like I was having this conversation with this girl and she said this. I mean more like if it's a time objection, like Karen does an amazing job of debunking the time excuse. You know what I mean? Like her posts are a great example of how to do that. And like money-wise, people tell your own story, like about how you were worried about spending all this money at first, but then you realize, like, you know, can I actually put a price on my health? Can I actually put a price tag on how I feel now versus how I felt then? So I think like publicly posting about these objections is good too.
Yeah, absolutely. Bonnie Engel does that a lot, or she used to anyway, and I just love it. I think it's really strong and really great because you're speaking direct to like not just that one person now, but so many people.
Because if they're thinking it, a ton of other people are thinking it too.
Exactly, and we know that. The other thing I wanted to mention,
Christina Delgado did that this morning too. Sorry, there's so much background noise. I was just saying that Christina Delgado did that this morning. She had an objection about, she posted that she wanted to lose 10 pounds and someone was like, oh, that's really not that much for someone in fitness. And I thought she did a really awesome job about how she addressed it.
Her post was amazing. She's been like really killing her posts lately.
Yeah, she has been killing her posts lately. I'm going to have to look at that one.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to mention is because, again, like, I'm trying to get back to the basics and I'm trying to really utilize teambeachbody.com and everything that it has to offer, because it's like literally been blowing my mind lately how much I don't use. I consider myself a resourceful person. But yeah, I feel like so many times, like, we try to reinvent the wheel and we try to do things. And my boyfriend's always like, Heather, why are you creating a training for that? Doesn't Beachbody give you that stuff? And I was like, yeah, they do. So anyways, I hope this call was helpful. And there's also this document online that says how to overcome objections. And it actually gives you talking points. And like, I'm not saying like, you know, read this verbatim to people, but this is really helpful in, you know, if someone's having new conversations or even not, like, print it out, like put it on your desk, like where you do work. And like, I think it really will help everyone to just wrap their head around this more. Like this program objections on here and money objections.
Maybe we can find too the one we did at the Diamond Retreat last year. Remember we did that?
Yes, I do have that. Actually, hilariously enough, because I'm so organized now because I have my desk. I have all the stickies here.
Oh, how funny.
But yeah, I will share that with the team for sure.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for logging in. I really appreciate it. It was good to see you guys. And I'll share this tonight in the page.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Bye guys.
Thank you.
How do I? There we go.